the creepy near-death experience of a man I met at a bar. I heard this story from a guy I happened to meet at a bar, sitting next to me at the counter. We hit it off, and as our conversation flowed, I asked him the question I always do. Have you ever seen a ghost? Or had any kind of scary experience? He thought for a moment and then replied, I don't know if you would call it scary, but there was one time I nearly got taken to the other side. This is the story he told me. About a year ago, I had a near-death experience. At a construction site, I hit my head on something like an iron pipe and lost consciousness. You know how they say in near-death experiences, you see a light at the end of a tunnel? That's really what you see. I was standing in complete darkness, and ahead of me was a very bright, beautiful field of yellow flowers. And near it, I could even hear the sound of a river flowing. On the other side were many of my old friends and family who had passed away, while I stood alone on this side. They were all expressionless, motioning for me to come over. But I knew it. If I go over there, I'll die. So I turned around and ran desperately toward the black hole on the opposite side. Maybe it was because my desire not to die was so strong it was like instinct. Strangely enough, that bright flower field felt more frightening to me. So I kept on moving toward the darkness without ever looking back. Then suddenly, a young girl appeared in front of me. I was startled, but I tried to ignore her and walk past. But for some reason, I couldn't ignore her, and before I knew it, I had stopped in my tracks and was talking to her. Who are you? I asked. The girl answered, I'm just a girl in a dream. You're only dreaming, so there's no need to go any further. If you head toward that black side, your good dream will turn into a nightmare. So it's better if you stay here. I'm waiting here too, because a beautiful lady in white told me the same thing. Hearing that, I felt all the strength drain out of me. So it's just a dream, I thought. After that, I chatted with the girl for a while as we stayed there. But then, all of a sudden, the girl vanished into thin air. Even though it was just a dream, I felt an intense unease. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be seen. Then, from the direction of the flower field, I heard a voice. Help me, help me. It was the girl's voice. I forgot myself and ran toward the flower field. What I saw there was completely different from the scene I had seen before. It was nothing less than hell. Chains stretched out from all directions, wrapping around the girl's body, their hooks digging deep into her skin and flesh, binding her in place. Covered in blood, she was lifted into the air as if suspended, and thinking back on it now, that scene was just like the movie Hellraiser. Her eyes were opened wide, darting around frantically, as if pleading with me for something. Behind her stood my family and friends, just as before, but this time, the white clothes they had been wearing were all drenched in blood, and they wore eerie smiles as they beckoned me closer. Seeing that, I was convinced. This isn't a dream. It was the most terrifying experience of my life, and I ran, crying, toward the black hole in utter desperation. As I ran, countless anguished faces surfaced in the darkness all around me. But I didn't have the time to be afraid of those faces. I just kept running, terrified, desperately fleeing deeper into the darkness. Then I realized I was in a hospital. Several women dressed in white were standing there. I shouted, "Whoa!" and stumbled back. But when I looked carefully, they were nurses. I remember feeling relief from the bottom of my heart. But you know, it was the first time I had ever had an experience like that, and when I woke up, I was drenched in sweat. So I told my friends about it, and they just said things like, a near-death experience? Did Pinhead show up too? Man, that's awesome, and didn't take me seriously at all. They all made fun of me, but there were no pinheads or Cenobites there. Was it really just a dream? Honestly, I don't know. But if back then I had gone through that tunnel and stepped into the bright flower field, what would have happened to me? Would I have been sent to hell? I don't think I'm such a bad person, though. If I ever see that same dream again, I'll probably die from the shock. So I never want to make the mistake of banging my head on a pipe again. I'm determined to avoid ever losing consciousness again, because that would be bad.